In the disruptive age that we are in currently, the role of the Chief Technology Officer is perhaps more important than ever before. Today, he or she may also have to wear the hat of a crystal ball gazer maybe. So I'm here with Dr. Dirk Walliser, who is the head of corporate R&D at ZF, one of world's top 5 automotive systems and technology supplier. Dr. Walliser, if you put on your the hat of a crystal ball gazer, and you have to really always work for the future, right? Plan for the future. What is the future you see, say, 10 years down the line for the automotive or mobility industry?
Well, if we look at the future, for us it's always important to have a big picture anchor point in the future. And if it's 2025 or 2030, in these disruptive times, it doesn't really matter, but we have to have a big picture of where we'll be. The big picture says we have a mobility that is completely sustainable, that is CO2 neutral. That's a must. It's mobility that provides a better mobility life balance, where you have easy access to mobility, also in inner cities. In the inner cities that will have 2/3 of the population, and we want to have everybody to fluently pick his means of mobility and also choose when and where to go for it. So the big picture is fluent mobility, it's a life-friendly mobility, and it's a sustainable mobility with zero CO2 at the end.
So all these, if you were to kind of put them into 3 or 4 categories, how will you divide them? Because generally the megatrends are case or ACEs, as people say, autonomous, connected, shared mobility and electric mobility. Do you subscribe to the same thought process, or does ZF have a slightly different viewpoint?
Well, the megatrends, I think, for all of us in the industry, but also for our mobility customers, are the same. And if you call it CASE or SAKE or whatever, it's always the technologies that provide connectivity, access to the cloud, access to the IoT. We have 26 billion devices already in the cloud, so connectivity, access to data is very important. Also, electrification, because it allows us for low and zero CO2. That will not come in the next 2 years, but we have to get there by 2035, 2036. Autonomous driving, because we have the ability with our processes, with the sensor set, will become very important. And as some studies show, in inner cities with purely automotive traffic, we can get down to cycle times of less than 5 minutes. So wherever you are, you pick your smartphone, you order a vehicle, and within 5 minutes you can enter and get wherever you want. So all these trends are not specific to ZF, are not specific to any region in the world or to any manufacturer. It's for us all. And what brings it together and enables is digitalization and data that we can use, that can leverage and make a better proposal for it.
And what are the 3 or 4 key pillars on which all your mid to long-term strategies are going to be based now?
Well, we are a technology company. We are a system supplier. So we have focused our system expertise and also our service offering to 4 major fields. It's electric mobility, vehicle motion control, autonomous driving, and integrated safety. And it all is put together with a glue, as you want, the abilities of digitalization of data and IoT. And all our technologies, all our services pick pieces and systems from these 4 categories.
And also yesterday in a presentation by a colleague, we also got a sneak peek into what ZF wants to do. I mean, basically, from what I understand, it looked to me like ZF wants to convert the car into a mobile phone. Like you update on-the-air updates for almost every system in the car. Is that how soon do you think that that can happen, and in terms of in the commercial application?
Well, the time, the speed of introduction depends a little on the segment. So if you look at mobility, shared mobility, we're already there. I mean, we are ordering our shared car, we look for parking spaces with a mobile phone. So it's already happening. And if you look in the world, for ride-hailing, for example, we have worldwide 50 million ride-hails per day. So it's not a question of when and how, it's already there. We are providing for each stage of mobility. We still have many people that like to own their car, that buy a car, and that are very interested in certain features, and we provide them for our customers.
Right, and also in terms of the other developments that are taking shape, some of which we are getting, you are showcasing in the technology day here in Germany. Your two-speed transmission for electric mobility. How is it a unique proposition in the industry currently, and what are its key highlights?
Yeah, that's a system and also a component where you see how we can get two worlds together. The strength of transmission technology that ZF has been having for 105 years, for seamless transmissions, for effective and efficient transmissions on the one hand side, and electric motor on the other hand side. And as you will see, and as I have shown, is bringing those two together with two speeds. You can tailor the electric motor such that you have maximum acceleration in the range of 80 to 100 kilometers. If you just had one speed, one motor, you would have to over-design the motor, make it bigger, more heavy, and also more costly. So it's a very cost-efficient system that provides the acceleration, the momentum, and the power that we need at each stage of driving cycles. In terms of your projection for electric mobility industry, by many countries, I come from India, there are certain timelines which are being proposed for for the auto industry to go full electric. By 2030, if you take that as a timeline, what population, what percentage of the mobility industry do you think will go electric? And secondly, as far as autonomous car is concerned, it seems that it's a moving goalpost. Many people thought that, including in Europe, that 2025 would where you will have maybe level 4, if not level 5. But now people are saying maybe that's not possible, maybe 2030. Your thoughts on that? It's two questions. Let me start with the first one. What range and what percentage of electrification we have? To be honest, I think nobody knows. But what we know is that we get more electrification in the course of the next years. It depends on the energy system that we have. It depends on availability of green power and so on and so forth. So our strategy is to provide technologies that are pretty flexible, that are open for whatever game changer may come up in the next years, battery performance, fuel cells and so on, with our range of products. And with the HAP plug-in hybrid, you can see that. We can offer a purely ICE system that ranges with electrification from 25 kilowatts all the way to 160 kilowatts. So it's very flexible depending on the demand of our customers and their end customers. So that's for electrification, and as you know, we provide e-axles and have already 2 major customers where we have provided the full range of electric drive today. So we have the purists that go for electrification right away, and we have the ones that say, well, let's risk mitigate the amount of people that use electrification or still need large range. That's for electrification. Now for autonomous vehicles, as I mentioned, there's 3 major key elements that we have to follow up. First of all, legislation. Today, you cannot operate a fully autonomous vehicle on public roads. We have release for test vehicles, for test fleet that works. Second, it's very expensive. So if you look at level 4, level 5 systems, the sensor set, the computing power, the algorithms will amount to between 70 to 100,000 US dollars. That's pretty expensive, and it's only a very small fraction of customers that would say, well, I take full option and I have a car that costs 100,000 and add another 100,000 for the sensor set. There will be some, it's a very small market. If you look at the robo-shuttles, if we can assist or eliminate the driver, the business case turns completely around. Then all of a sudden you have a small piece of depreciation. The utilization of the vehicle goes up from today 4%. If you look at average utilization of a passenger car, it's 4% to 25%, and all of a sudden it makes a lot of sense. And we provide a very comfortable, sustainable means of transportation. So there are segments, and that's the third one, where we feel and believe we can start with autonomous driving almost right away. Restricted areas, And our To Get There shuttle, for example, shows it. It has been operating for 10 years, 10 to 15 years, unrestricted but very complex traffic situations as well. So it's there, yes, it's there, and it will come, but it will take some time.
And talking about technology and software will increasingly play a very crucial role for automotive applications. And there comes the role of bases like India, for example, your global tech center in Hyderabad. Yeah, could you just share with us how crucial a role it is playing, and what kind of developments is it taking place there? And is it a COE for any area, any applications?
I'm very excited about our ITC. It has a startup spirit, it's growing very fast, and it's great experts that can provide us support, but also take lead in software technologies. We are already at more than 1,000 engineers, and the ITC, the India Tech Center in Hyderabad, will play even more crucial role. We are adding up to 205,000 engineers, and it will become the second largest engineering center and tech center of ZF in the world. They provide software, but not only. My vision is that in Hyderabad at the ITC we have daily builds of software, maybe 200 builds per day. They are tested, they are put into our repository, and a lot of our customers already start to separate hardware from software, so we can release software every day, provide it to customers. They can decide I deploy it in the vehicle or not. So that's why I'm excited about this software center. I'm excited about the enthusiasm and the engagement of the software engineers there, and they're very smart.
But what level of work are they doing development? Are they on the basic level, mid level, or are they doing any cutting edge?
We are increasing the scope of responsibility almost every month. So we have an innovation room there already, and some ideas come up which we're using and leveraging worldwide.
Any examples?
You will see them later on. Maybe in some months we can publish them. We provide software stacks that are adapted, configured in Hyderabad, but for some technologies, like in the chassis control technology, they already have full responsibility for software stacks when it comes to applications, to customer applications. So it's a full range, and we will increase that, because efficiency, if you want to do it right, it's better if you have some smart people together in the room and they do the full program rather than distribute it too much around the world. So my vision is that Hyderabad is the software technology center of ZF in the future.
Lastly, the level of electronics content or digitalization, as you mentioned, in automotive now, what is the average level now, and say in 5 years down the line, where do you see it growing to?
I'm quite confident that we'll see service-oriented architectures, which means the software is not linked or locked into one ECU. It will be operating on computational centers in the vehicle, and if that starts, we may have more standard hardware, computational hardware. We will have smart actuators and sensors, and then the software can reach to up to 60% of the value add of a vehicle, combined with the backend capabilities, auto capabilities, updating capabilities. So it will be a major part of vehicles' value in the future.
Thank you very much. Pleasure talking to you, and wish you all the best with your projects.
Thank you very much, and have fun at our test track.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And there you heard him talking about what the future looks like and how technology is going to grow rapidly in our automobiles in the near future. And thank you very much for watching this interview here, which was conducted at a site on the outskirts of Dresden in Germany. Thank you very much. Goodbye.